it was great to. It's great to be part of that community. You know,
Yeah, it sure is.
always kind of fun going in to meet with the guys, and actually end up on the set. And sometimes, you know, you have to ask questions like, you know, from the security guard, like, do you know what this means in the world of Star Trek?
I had to go up to Rick Berman the day of shooting the pilot for Enterprise, Star Trek Enterprise. I don't know why I put this conversation off, but it just occurred to me when I was in full costume, full makeup. I'm on the set, and we're about 15 minutes away to shoot my first scene, which is with all the characters, and I'm sort of the focus of ridicule, basically. Let's ridicule the Vulcan. And I walked up to Rick Berman. I said, you know, I've got to ask him this. I was almost near a panic because I didn't know what I was doing. I figured in the reading I'd done something, and I remember after the reading, gee, I got the part. I better try to remember what I did because I don't know who the Vulcans are. I don't really. I watched Star Trek as a kid and all that, but I didn't really know what I was doing. I'll let it out, let everybody know right now. I didn't know what so I walked out and I said, Rick, he says, first he stops me and goes, wow, you look like a Vulcan. And I go, I don't know if I feel like a Vulcan. And he put his arm around me, chuckling, and we walked around the sound stage for 15 minutes. And he told me all about the Vulcans and about how far from having zero emotions, they have such volcanic emotions that they realized centuries ago that in order to not destroy each other, they have to way to sublimate it and hold it in check. So that's when the whole Zen way of life for the Vulcans started, and I thought, oh, that's great. But now my panic, of course, is worsened because I didn't think about that, so I showed up on the set, and I tried to incorporate all of that instantly, you know, within 20 seconds of preparation into my lines. So it was a wild, adventurous day for me.
You're almost afraid to even say your first line because you want to be so ready, right? And you don't want to lie.
Right.
Right. You can't. You should never lie as an actor unless you're really good.
It's funny when you start in this business and you get your first job, and if it was good for picture and they heard it, you know, for sound, and you got all the lines right, and the script girl says, yeah, everything's right, and I didn't knock over the furniture or anything, then you had it made, and never mind any kind of nuance or any kind of import to the story or whether you were any good or you sucked or whatever. Just, gee, they got everything. We can move on. That's how you are in the beginning. But, you know, where we're at, you worry about the subtlety. Am I missing this point? Am I remembering this backstory?
You can say at our age. That's all right.
Yeah, I remember understanding. Yeah.
It's been a journey. It's been a lot of years. I remember watching the original Star Trek. I didn't watch it much when it first came out, but when I was in college, my roommate was into it. We used to watch it on about a 9-inch black and white TV. And we were sitting around talking about it, and he said, wouldn't it be great to be on a show like that someday? And then light years later, you're there, you know?
Yeah.
And you're doing this stuff, and it's kind of a thrill. You know, it's good. It's a good life, you know? It can be a really good life. It can be also hellishly frustrating, but, you know.
You could end up in Maui.
Yeah. I have a couple of questions. One of them is that I saw that you worked with David Carson, and he directed 2 of your episodes on Alien Nation, and David Carson directed the pilot episode for DS9. Any words on working with David Carson?
Just that I enjoyed it. I liked working with him. He seemed very insightful, and I don't know about you, Eric, but for me, I like a director to just imbue, to convey the sense that you're going to be okay, no matter what. I got your back.
Yeah,
I got your back. You know, we hired you for a reason, so just get out there and do what you feel, and we'll talk about it. But mainly, they'll leave you alone.
Well, in our show especially, we had a lot of room for invention. And a director, I think they were pretty much sat down and said, okay, the show's moving, the characters are full. Watch them work. So give them, as you say, the form. You don't want to over direct, but you have to be open to these, these experiences that we're experiencing. So that if you're sitting around the humor at the dinner table or the special ceremony of that's kind of like a bris, but I think that the directors knew how much to be involved and when to kind of back off, And my memory of David Carson was like that, that he was very sensitive to what is the because if you go in and you're a hired gun and you're directing an episodic, you're walking into something that has already got a rhythm. And I would imagine that Star Trek is, and Star Trek, if we had a word or two to change on Alien Nation, we would just do it.
Yeah.
You could not do it on Star Trek. You
couldn't do that on Star Trek. In fact, almost directly after we did our last movie, I got my shot on Voyager, and as you say, I was really used to easy breezy, throw it out and we'll see if it works, and not on a Star Trek. They run a really tight ship, and nothing escapes your mouth that isn't sanctioned by the tower on high. They sit in going over every word and every pause. And
every word. Yeah, wow. Every word. It was a real, it's an institution, so they're
very protective of it. Now, I understand that.
Sure.
Yeah.
And if you say it perfectly, what does the script supervisor say, Sirach?
DLP, Lovey.
DLP?
Dead letter perfect. You got it right. Okay. DLP. But you guys actually worked with another. So David Carson did the pilot for Deep Space Nine, and after I finished my work on DS9, I actually did another show for Showtime called The Hoop Life.
Nice.
And the Hoop Life pilot was directed by Kevin Hooks, another director that I see you guys worked with on Alien Nation. He was the actor on White Shadow.
Right.
Yes, I remember.
I like working with Kevin. What do you?
Me too. He was a fun guy.
He was a lot of fun, as I remember.
Yeah.
And we had another director that we called Half Day Harry.
Half Day Harry, we really liked that.
I think we can guess why.
They got out of work for what, about 3:30?
Yeah, it was like what?
We would start a scene.
Like, we're done. What do you mean we're done? Don't we have like
Harry S. Longstreet is his name.
Yeah, Harry Longstreet.
That's Longstreet.
Half Day Harry, who
Half Day Harry.
Yeah, they retired. They live up in the Seattle area on one of the islands up there, and he's now a photographer. Still keep in touch with him once in a while.
God love him.
So we've got just a few minutes left. Stephanie, you look like you've got one final question you want to ask, probably back about either Enterprise or Alien Nation.
No, I think, I got to go to my Enterprise. I got to my Enterprise stuff because it's my favorite out of all of the shows. And Gary, when we met in 2018 at STLV, I don't know if you remember, it was after the Rat Pack. And I came up to you and I told you Enterprise was my favorite. And I said, but the minute I saw Soval in Broken Bow, I knew exactly who you are. And for some reason you were surprised that I realized that you were Sykes. And I said, I knew you the minute I saw you.
I know most people are surprised when I tell them, or they see my, the table with the photos and all that, and they'll look at Enterprise and then look at Alien Nation and go, "You're that guy too?"
No, for me it was like, oh my God, it's that guy.
I'm the guy that hurt my Achilles in Alien Nation and played Achilles in Robot Jocks.
There you go. Wow.
Whoa.
And for Eric.
Okay, for the lightning round, let's go to Ryan.